Now make sure with your clients, it's important to teach them to log roll, whether they're going onto the reformer or the Cadillac. So in a log roll, you're sitting to the side, and then you're lying to the side, and then you're rolling over onto your back. So with your osteoporotic clients, don't let them do this. That's not what the direction that we want to take the spine. So you'll be sitting, and then roll onto your side, so that hand comes down to support, and then roll over onto your back. So you really want to focus on keeping that spine as long as possible. Oh, very good with the log roll. I'm so impressed. When you're getting onto the roller, I'm going to put the roller in the middle of the table. So you're going to have to log roll right on the very edge of the table. That's it, and then roll onto the roller. So we don't want people, you know how most people when they get on the roller, it's like this, it's like, and then flex through the spine, crack a few bones in my spine as I'm going down, crack a few bones as I'm coming back up. So logging roll is really going to help. So fantastic, Mel, that's perfect. So doing a lot of exercise on the foam roller can help to really open out the shoulders, because with that kyphosis, that's going to, and we want them to start to really open out the front of the body so that they feel that they're able to keep more open. Although lying on your back doesn't build bone density, this is more postural and for balance as well. I'm going to do a little bit of prone work here next. So Melinda, you're going to lie on your tummy. So whenever you're lying someone prone who is osteoporotic, you want to have, so lie, yep, you can just dive straight onto your tummy. You want to have a pillow underneath the abdomen. So the pillow is underneath the hip bones, but not the pubic bone. Very nice. And we've got a pillow underneath your head as well. Great. So we can do a little bit of shoulder flexion. So we're going to stretch the arms forward, and then let's lift one arm up. That's it. Lift through the waist a little and down. And then the other side. That's it. So sometimes with the decrease in the spine, we end up not being able to move the shoulders. So I like to be able to train the arm to be able to reach back into shoulder flexion so you don't lose that range very early on. So from osteopenia, you want to, even if any of my clients are over 50, I start to get them to really work more into extension, strengthening the postural muscles, making sure their shoulder flexion is great. And let's go out to the sides and then lift both arms up. And you're really strengthening through this part of the back. So if we wanted to, we could actually take that up into a little bit of, so float the head up just a little tiny bit, that's it, Melinda, and then coming back down. So you can add a little bit of thoracic and cervical extension as well to really strengthen those postural muscles that hold you upright. Great, one last time. Very nice. Now when you're doing the squats with your clients who are nervous about falling over, you always have a chair back behind them and also a grip for the feet. Are they grippy socks? Okay, so you're going to come, I'm not sure what level we need to be back with that chair, but let's have, is that going to be about right? So you want to sit into the chair, bend your elbows, and we'll pull down into a row so you get a bit more support as you're sitting down into the chair, and then coming back up. All right, go back a little bit further, and we're going to have your bottom not quite touching the chair. That's it. Go back a tiny bit further because the chair's back a bit further. That's it. Yes. I'm just sitting on the Cadillac in case it slides. Yeah, thank you. I've had that done before with clients.
I have pulled your Cadillac nearly over.
Yeah, so you will. This one does slide. Yeah, so make sure that if your client is at risk of breaking a bone, osteopenia, you know, make sure the Cadillac is stable. Make sure they're confident enough to do this. So we could also do this standing on one leg, but we're not going to do that today. Yeah, on the good knee. Yeah, nice work. So some people who have quite bad osteoporosis can actually break bones by sitting hard into a chair. So have you seen some older people where when they sit into a chair, I'll give you an example, they have enough strength to go to about here, and then they just go, and they plump down heavily. People can actually crack their bones if they have osteoporosis. So when you're training your squats, this is where I find this is really life-saving. Squats, train your clients to sit softly down, so in slow motion. So sit to stand is an exercise you can do with your clients in a normal chair, and then coming back up. Use power to come up, but when they're sitting down, the slower they go, the better. And then tell them whenever they're sitting down, they have to practice going like that. So you're changing their movement patterns, their functional movement patterns, so they're in their 80s, they're not going to be plopping into the chair. So the more that you can change how people move, the better. So we also want to do the lunges here as well. So we'll do the backward lunges. So you'll hold on to the arm springs. And I just basically like to do a row, because that's going to strengthen the postural muscles, into a backward lunge. That's it. That's it. And then changing sides. So it challenges the muscle, it challenges the balance. You're working the postural muscles, and you're working against gravity to increase that bone density.
So I should be thinking about still upright.
Yeah, keeping long, long, long through the spine. So as much length through the spine as possible.
You're really done.
That's it. How are your knees going?
That's right, they're just audible.
Okay.
It's too much tap dancing as a child.
And then I forgot to do the diagonals. So the diagonals, you'll face out, and you're going to actually lunge on a diagonal line with a punch. So we did the punches straight forward, but this time you're going to, take that leg out on a diagonal. So we're pulling on the diagonal muscles, loading up the hip. It's almost more loading without the springs. The springs actually give you a bit of support. So you get more loading, the more you actually fall onto the leg. So you want to get that even heel drops where you're banging down into the floor. That shock is going to increase the bone density. So you sort of want to shock the bones into building more. So with the clients that you have, each session you want to give variations to the exercises so their bones don't get used to the exercise. So you want to give them something different each time, and that'll make it more interesting for them as well.
One question, sorry. When
Yeah.
they're stepping out, do you want to teach them to get through the foot, like some of that foot
Ooh.
moving as well, just to stop them from going?
No, I want them
But you
to,
actually want them to stop.
yeah, the more they stop, the better the bones are going to be. But also it depends on
how
them,
progressed they are.
because some people might prefer to slide their foot along and be more careful at first and slower.